Just a little over 2 years ago, Joe Burrow took a brutal blow to start his young career. After suffering a torn ACL against Washington, and I gotta be honest, I'm starting to think that whole organization, that whole field, everything about it is just cursed. All right, like Turtle Man, Jeff Bezos, you gotta hurry up and buy that team. But back to Joe Burrow. I don't think I've seen someone in their first 3 seasons have the amount of success in the regular season and postseason that Joe Burrow has had, except for Patrick Mahomes, obviously. I am in full agreement that winning comes as a team, but I think people forget how important your quarterback is when it comes to winning games. He touches the ball every play. It's no mistake that quarterbacks who are considered the greatest win a lot. It's the kinds of things that separate Tom Brady, who I think Joe Burrow is the reincarnation of. Burrow has this unflappable mindset which translates to his play on the field. He just never makes that big mistake. He'll hit you with the knockout by always going to the right place with the ball. Even in his rookie year, I think it was clear that he was the best quarterback that Cincinnati has had since maybe Carson Palmer or Andy Dalton in 2015. He took over the worst team in the league and turned it around in just 1 year. I think it's been a unanimous agreement that 3 of the top 5-ish QBs in the league come from the AFC, and their names are Burrow, Mahomes, and Allen. But I think after this season, Joe Burrow has clearly risen above Josh Allen. As much as Mahomes may be above him physically, like he is almost any QB in NFL history, Burrow is creeping his way up the ladder due to his mental game. Allen is the hit or miss guy. He'll have a few blunders, but he'll knock you out and leave you bleeding. Mahomes is never out of any game, same with Burrow. He really never puts the team in a hole that they can't get out of. Burrow has the edge over Allen because of his ability to not make that brutal mistake over and over again. Leave it to Joe Burrow. When he's the underdog, he doesn't take it lightly. I think for as great as Allen is, the gift of his freakish size and athleticism at times can hinder the offense. It can stop the rhythm and momentum in a way. It's not necessarily Allen's fault, but running with a quarterback, in my opinion at least, can put your offense back at times, even though it's considered an added dimension. I feel like Allen has been able to overcome his weaknesses because of his strengths being so out of this world above everyone else, but when inaccuracy, impatience, and turnovers meet, it gets ugly. And I think that's been Allen's issue and what's been keeping him from excelling against the best teams in the biggest moments. Not all the time though, but there are tons of examples. Burrow, more often than not, will keep you in rhythm and keep the offense ahead of the chains with his mind. If you're able to win the mental game, 9 times out of 10, your talent will be carried along with it. In 2021, Joe Burrow was first in on-target percentage at 82.8%. On-target percentage means the amount of on-target throws per pass attempt. And in 2022, Joe Burrow kept that accuracy coming as he was 3rd in OTP at 79.1%. And with that, he had 606 pass attempts, meaning he was the most accurate passer who had over 600 attempts. Better than Brady, better than Cousins, Herbert, and Mahomes. Burrow also had the 4th lowest bad throw percentage with QBs over 400 pass attempts. Joe Burrow's other stats, like his completion percentage, which has been over 68% the last 2 years, and yards and touchdown passes, have all been at the top of the league for the past 2 seasons. I think the most interesting thing about his passing success is the fact that out of the QBs that started all 17 games, he was last in yards off play action. The Bengals game is almost all drop back. They aren't a big play action team, at least when it comes to getting big yardage off of it. Sometimes teams use running the ball and going play action off of it as a way to help the quarterback. But if you have someone like Joe Burrow, you don't really need to help him. The more you just put the ball in his hands on those 3, 5, and 7-step drops, you're more likely to win. Zach Taylor knows that, and Zach Taylor trusts and knows he'll be accurate as hell and smart as hell with the ball when throwing the ball. Just for fun, I want to show you a few plays from Joe Burrow this past season. I think Burrow doesn't get nearly enough credit for how accurate he is when it comes to deep passes all over the field. He's one of the most accurate deep ball passers over the last 2 seasons. This is the game versus Atlanta, and Burrow drops a perfect pass to Jamar Chase. The one thing I love about his deep ball is that it comes out so clean. It's almost like a flick of the wrist, and I think with the way he throws, he has sort of a high release. It's kind of Peyton Manning-like, and you see how the pass is just laid over the top, perfectly over 2 defenders. It's perfectly over 2 defenders to where Chase can run right under it, but also making sure to put it in a spot where only Chase can get it and no one else. It's the arch on his deep ball, I think, that just doesn't get talked about enough, and it's an intentional part of his game too. He's been doing it since LSU, and I think most quarterbacks' throwing styles change a lot throughout the course of their careers from college to the NFL, and I mean, like, look at Aaron Rodgers, for example, throwing passes at Cal versus like 2011-ish and beyond. Like, it's just a huge difference. It's almost night and day. And for someone like Joe Burrow, I mean, he's found an almost perfect release, like right when he started playing football. And it's a big reason for why he's so accurate. I want to highlight another huge part of his game that I also think is a bit overlooked, and it's his pocket mobility. It's not necessarily the fact that he has good pocket mobility, even though he does. It's more of the style of it. And I'll show you exactly what I mean with this play. Watch the pocket break down as pressure comes up the middle and lanes just start to get clogged up. Burrow's going to keep his shoulders and body square to his target. This does a few things. Not only does it keep your body ready to throw and throw accurately even with pressure bearing down, it also means that you keep your body ready to escape the pocket quickly and run to either your left or right if you need to. You know you're not panicking and flailing your body and exposing your torso a little too much, and you're staying square and, like I said, keeping the ball close to your body, not moving your hand out and waving it everywhere. With that, Burrow can easily and calmly navigate the pocket and quickly move to his left, analyze the field, and find P. Ryan for a touchdown. And Burrow's a lot more athletic than people think, and it shows. People don't anticipate how fast he is. And speaking of anticipation, this is one of my favorite throws of the season. This touchdown pass to Chase at home against Cleveland. I feel like a lot of people have seen this. He throws it perfectly in between two defenders on a line before Chase even turns his head. This is something that Burrow has done forever. You can go back to his rookie year. There's a throw versus Tennessee. Before the guy even turns his head, I think it's Tyler Boyd that he's thrown to, and it's right on the money back shoulder. Anticipation is something that I don't really think you can teach. You can tell someone and explain it, but it's guys like Burrow that just have that natural ability, that sixth sense that you can see things develop before they actually do. And that's what really separates quarterbacks and the guys that have an edge on them, those intangibles, those things that you really can't explain. That's one of them. A throw like that doesn't happen every day because not everyone is Joe Burrow. The Bengals as a team kind of have that similar mentality of we kind of know what's coming before it's in front of us. The Bengals were on a similar run that they were on last year, and it wasn't a mistake. They aren't just lucky as much as this is pro Burrow, this is pro Bengals. The whole staff from Taylor to Callahan to Anarumo, who should be a head coach in this league, and it's all credit to them. There's no debate, and I said back in 2021 when the conversation of Burrow and Herbert was at an all-time high, I picked Burrow, and I still pick Burrow. I think as incredible as Herbert and Allen are, I think Burrow has a little more steady of a floor. Burrow is just less streaky, he's more consistent. Just call it what you want. You don't go 4-0 against Mahomes and Allen and outplay them at that if you aren't on their level or arguably above. Well, 4-1 now. You finally lost to Mahomes, unfortunately. I want to make those comparisons. I think he deserves it. He's shown, even since his rookie year, like I said, when Cincinnati was just not a good team, he showed that he can do all the simple things right. Keep the offense in check, which is huge for a young quarterback. Eventually, you're seeing the incredible play come more and more often, and I compare him to Tom Brady and Peyton Manning because that's truly who he reminds me of. But in reality, he's him. He's not the second coming of anyone. He's made a name for himself. He's made a brand for himself. He's the first Joe Burrow, an honorable and true one of one.
Favorite things that you said, I think it's on Sunday, is the window's always open. My entire career, the window is going to be open. Describe exactly what you meant by that.
My plan is to be here my whole career, and hopefully Zach is here my whole career. And hopefully a lot of our guys are around for as long as my career as they can be. And you know, I have a lot of confidence in the front office doing their jobs in the offseason. We've drafted well. We've brought in great free agents. We've claimed guys off waivers that have really made an impact on our team. And so I think we have one of the best front offices in the league. And Zach, in my opinion, is the best head coach in the league. And so that gives me a lot of confidence to go out there and say that.